If you walk up to your car, pull out an air gauge, and pump every single tire straight to 32 PSI, because that's what everyone says to do, stop right now. The correct pressure for your vehicle could be 28, 30, 33, 35, 36, or even different numbers front and rear. And that tiny difference can affect tire temperature, tread wear, fuel economy, handling, and ultimately how long your tires survive. According to NHTSA, proper inflation can extend the average tire's life by about 4,700 miles, while properly inflated tires can save as much as 11 cents per gallon in fuel costs. So in this video, we are going to destroy the 32 PSI myth, explain what those numbers actually mean, and show you why the most important number on your vehicle is not printed on the tire at all. Let's dive in. Section 1. How tire pressure actually works. To truly grasp why precise pressure matters, you have to realize that rubber compounds and steel belts do not support the weight of your vehicle, but compressed air does. The rubber structure of a tire is simply a reinforced pressure vessel designed to contain a specific volume of pressurized air, capable of supporting thousands of pounds. When air is forced into the tire cavity, it exerts outward force equally across every square inch of the internal carcass. This internal pressure dictates the shape and mechanical footprint of your tire's contact patch. If the internal air volume decreases, then the structural stiffness of the tire carcass collapses, which forces the outer tire shoulders to bear the vehicle's weight, while the center tread buckles upward off the road. This fundamentally distorts suspension geometry, degrades cornering grip, and drastically reduces the tread's ability to evacuate water, and in result, creates immediate hydroplaning hazards at highway speeds. Section 2. 32 PSI magic number. The urban legend of 32 PSI is perfect for every car comes from a completely different era of automotive engineering. Decades ago, passenger cars had more similar curb weights, bias ply tires were still common, and suspension systems were far less precisely tuned than they are today. But modern vehicles are engineered around extremely specific weight distributions, tire sizes, suspension geometry, and load requirements. That's why there is no universal 32 PSI rule. If your vehicle's door jamb label says 32 PSI cold, then 32 PSI is exactly where you should start. But if that label says 35 pounds per square inch, and you've been running 32 for years, then you are consistently underinflating your tires, and that's very dangerous. That's because the automaker engineers the recommended pressure around the vehicle's weight, axle loads, suspension, steering, braking, tire dimensions, and intended operating conditions. Now imagine your door sticker specifies 35 pounds per square inch in the front and 33 pounds per square inch in the rear. But every time you visit the air pump, you automatically set all four tires to 32 pounds per square inch. You haven't discovered a clever shortcut. You've just changed the vehicle's engineered tire pressure balance. You have not found a clever shortcut. You've changed the vehicle's intended tire pressure setup. That small-looking difference can alter the tire's contact patch, increase sidewall flex, raise heat buildup, and change how the vehicle responds when you suddenly brake, swerve, or hit standing water. Section 3. The fatal sidewall max pressure trap. One of the most persistent, dangerous practices in auto maintenance is inflating a tire up to the pressure number molded directly onto its rubber sidewall. That printed figure, often reading 44, 50, or 51 PSI, is not a recommended operational guideline. It is the absolute maximum cold inflation limit that the rubber casing can safely hold before structural rupture. The tire manufacturer prints that maximum rating on the sidewall because the exact same tire model might be mounted on a lightweight sports car, a heavy utility van, or a commercial trailer with completely different gross vehicle weight ratings. If you pump a standard passenger car's tires up to the sidewall maximum, then you create an overinflated, rock-hard tire that balloons in the center. This reduces the tire's ability to absorb bumps and potentially shrinks the effective contact patch by up to 30%. This severe overinflation ruins ride comfort, subjects expensive suspension components like struts and ball joints to brutal impact forces, and rapidly burns out the center tread. This mistake can cut the functional lifespan of your $200 tire in half, while severely compromising cornering traction on wet roads. Section 4. Deciphering the door jamb placard. If the tire sidewall is a trap, then where do you actually find the holy grail of correct tire pressure specifications for your specific vehicle? The answer lies inside the driver's side door frame, where you will find a yellow and white vehicle certification label known as the tire placard. This engineering sticker is printed specifically for your exact vehicle configuration as it rolled off the assembly factory line, taking into account factory wheel diameter, gross vehicle weight, and front-to-rear weight balance. Frequently, you will discover that the manufacturer actually recommends two entirely different pressure settings. For example, 36 pounds per square inch in the front tires to handle heavy engine weight, and 33 PSI in the rear tires for unladen cruising. And deviating from these factory-stamped door jamb recommendations messes with your vehicle's factory-calibrated anti-lock braking systems and electronic stability control programs. That's why take 10 seconds to open your door, inspect that placard, and match your tire gauge to those precise numbers guarantees that your tires maintain a perfectly flat, uniform footprint on the pavement across every mile you drive. Section 5. The physics of thermal stress and tire failure. To understand why precise pressure matters so much, you have to look at the severe physical and thermal stresses occurring inside the rubber structure as your vehicle rolls down the road. Tire pressure is not a static measurement. As a fundamental rule of physical science, compressed air molecules expand when heated and contract when cooled. This translates to a precise 1 pound per square inch change in tire pressure for every 10-degree Fahrenheit shift in ambient air temperature. When seasonal weather shifts occur and autumn overnight temperatures drop by 30 or 40 degrees, then your tires can lose 3 to 4 PSI purely from ambient thermal contraction without a single puncture present. Conversely, driving at highway speeds generates normal operational heat that artificially boosts internal pressure readings by 3 to 5 PSI above cold resting baseline levels. This is exactly why checking tire pressures immediately after a long drive or relying on single seasonal checks leads to dangerous underinflation errors during cold mornings. To set your pressure correctly, you must always measure and adjust your tires when they are completely cold, meaning the vehicle has been parked for at least 3 hours or driven less than 1 mile at low speeds. The bottom line of this video is, managing your tire pressure is not a complex mechanical task, but doing it correctly month in and month out is easily the most cost-effective maintenance habit you can build to protect your vehicle and your wallet. By dumping the outdated 32 PSI myth, ignoring sidewall maximums, and sticking strictly to your vehicle's door jamb placard, you can instantly maximize fuel economy, preserve vital braking power, and stretch a standard 30,000-mile set of tires past 60,000 miles. Make it a routine to check your pressures at least once a month with a reliable digital pressure gauge. Thanks for watching, and drop a comment down below telling me what PSI your vehicle's door placard actually calls for.